Okay, so I want you to picture yourself sitting on a hill on a nice, warm 4th of July evening. And as you sit there waiting in anticipation after hearing the first thump in the distance, you gaze up into the sky and you see it just filled with vibrant colors and explosions. And as you're sitting there, you're wondering, wow, how does something so dangerous turn out to be so beautiful? Hi, I'm Nathaniel Hedgecock, and today I'm going to inform you on the history of fireworks and how they were discovered. Then I'll take you through the chemistry of fireworks and how they function and create different designs. Then finally, I will go over how the sale and use of fireworks are governed. So let me begin by going over the history of fireworks and how they began. Now, fireworks have been around for a long, long time, but according to Anne-Marie Helmanstein's article, History of Fireworks, which can be found under the website www.about.com, she mentions that fireworks were invented accidentally by a Chinese cook. Now, she goes further into explaining that this Chinese cook had accidentally spilled an ingredient called saltpeter into a fire, which caused a rather intriguing and beautiful flame to burst up and explode. Now, from what I've learned from her article, is that saltpeter is one of 3 ingredients, along with charcoal and sulfur, which make up the compound gunpowder. And around 2,000 years ago, from 960 to 1279 AD, which is around the Song Dynasty, the Chinese would fill bamboo shoots with this gunpowder in order to make firecrackers. And then once they were finished with the process of making these firecrackers, they would then commence to setting them off around the beginning of the new year in hopes of warding off evil spirits. Now let's move on a little further into the 15th century. In another article found under the website www.pyrouniverse.com, it said that around the 1600s that fireworks were brought over to our nation by settlers of Europe. Now, the Europeans didn't always use fireworks for celebrating special occasions. There were even times that they would use the fireworks to either impress or scare away the natives of the land. Now, going a little further down the timeline, in the year 1776, our founding fathers wrote and signed the Declaration of Independence, which signified our independence and freedom from Great Britain. And then 1 year later, our nation celebrated its very first 4th of July event. Now, it's also read further into the article that fireworks were used to instill a sense of hope and patriotism in our citizens of our young nation, and I believe it continues to do so to this day. So now that you're a little more familiar about the history of our fireworks and how they became a part of our 4th of July celebrations, I'll go ahead and take you through the chemistry of fireworks and how they function and create different designs. Now, in the article How Fireworks Work, which can be found under the website www.glencoe.com, Marshall Brain gives us a little rundown on how different fireworks function and how they are fabricated to create different designs. Now, he goes into explaining a little bit about firecrackers and sparklers, but the one that he really went into detail with are aero fireworks. Now, aero fireworks consist of 4 parts which make up a shell. You've got the container, the star pellets, the bursting charge, and then finally the fuse. And then underneath the shell is a tiny little cylinder which contains a lifting charge, which is actually used to project the shell into the air. And the equipment that is used to project these shells into the air are called mortar tubes. And these tubes can be made of either paper, plastic, fiberglass, or metal. Now, when the lifting charge launches the shell, it ignites the fuse, which allows the shell enough time to reach its appropriate height before igniting the bursting charge and causing the shell to explode and display the design that's contained on the inside. Now, not all fireworks are made the same way. The different designs that are displayed in the sky are based on how the pellets are arranged inside the shell. And Marshall gives us a little example of one of these just to kind of give you a better understanding of how this works. And he writes, if the pellets are equally spaced in a circle with black powder surrounding each one individually, then you will see an aerial display of smaller star explosions that will also show it equally spaced in a circle. And now, in order for a figure to be created in the sky, star pellets must be arranged in an outline for that figure. And then, once they've been arranged in that outline, then these pellets must be encompassed in a layer of break charge in order to separate them from all the other contents in the shell. And then finally, explosive charges are placed inside of the pellets, which will cause them to burst into the figure that is created in the outline. Now, if each charge does not ignite at the exact same time, then the shell will not function properly, and the firework itself will not function at all and will be ruined. So now that you have a better understanding of the chemistry of fireworks and how they function and the different designs that they make, I'll go ahead and move on to explaining what governs the sale and the use of fireworks. Now, in an article I found under the website www.cpsc.gov, the Consumer Product Safety Commission wrote that many states and local governments prohibit the sale of consumer fireworks, which used to be categorized as Class C fireworks. And even though they still comply with the CPSC's regulations in regards to being safe, they are still considered to be dangerous and cause injuries if not used properly. Now, illegal fireworks are a whole nother story, and the CPSC mentions some of these fireworks just to kind of give you an example of which ones to look out for. And some of these are the M80s, the cherry bombs, the quarter sticks, and even mail order kits. Now, in order to prevent incidents occurring that involve the use of illegal fireworks, the federal government has prohibited the sale and use of these fireworks under the Federal Hazardous Substances Act. So now that you have a better understanding of how the sale and use of fireworks are governed, I'll go ahead and review over everything that I've talked to you about today. So to start off, I took you through the history of fireworks and how they were discovered. Then I took you through the chemistry of fireworks and how they function and create different designs. And then finally I explained what governs the use and sale of fireworks. So in conclusion, I hope that you will take all this information that I've provided to you and that you keep in mind that even though all fireworks are fun to watch, not all fireworks are legal and safe for personal use. Thank you.